Oh, good enough. So that's Twitch. We sent more info. Okay. It looks like Twitch went offline and I gotta get back online. I don't really fuck with Twitch too much. I just checked it because I knew I had a profile up there. All right. It is officially hump day. I mean, is it hump day like once your day gets started? Or does hump day actually start at midnight? Is it hump day all the way? Or is it hump day like when your day gets started? I've never really figured that out. I guess it would be hump day all day. Hump day all day? I guess. I don't know. Either way, it is what it is. Looks like YouTube is up. Looks like Facebook is up. All right. So we might get a couple people in here, that are either on their way to work or maybe they're on their way home from work. That midnight shift is something else. I'm glad to see more people calling it the midnight shift now. When we were younger, we used to call it the graveyard shift. I don't think we started that term. I think that term came before my generation, but they called it the graveyard shift because that shift will kill you. If you try to work that shift, it will kill you because you're not living right. You're putting your body through a rigorous schedule when it should be sleeping. Good morning. Free, it's hump day. It's hump day. And I know hump day is meant to talk about Wednesday, but I'm going to talk about a few humps this morning. I did some hashtags today that I really want to get a point on. Oh, happy anniversary to Trish and Davis. 20 years in. 20 years. That's beauty. You put 20 calendars in with somebody, you really love them or you stuck. But I think they love each other. I done seen them together. I think they love each other.
Because if a person stops stimulating us, we stop loving them. And in that situation, he's feeling more pain than you are. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I'm starting to see that.
So I'll probably jump back in and out of this. The term being on code, it's so overused now. And y'all got to excuse me. I'm sitting on about maybe 150 minutes of sleep. What's that, about 2.5 hours, right? Yeah, I'm sitting on that. Sitting on about 2.5 hours of sleep. Um, I had some things I had to do, and then I just literally I couldn't close my eyes. So I knew I had to get up early and check on a guy. You know, the dude did start painting like late last night. So when checked on him, make sure he was good. Um, grab my coffee. You know, I had to get my thoughts really together. I mean, 150 minutes of sleep is really not that much. And you know, and I know I put myself through a lot more than I probably should sometimes, but I want to get things done so I can rest versus just, trying to live it normally, do minimal work. I mean, I'd rather just do it all, get it done. And then if I can put my feet up for like a day and just totally rest, I think I'm in a better space. But Sister Kim, how you doing tonight? Or this morning? Shit, where the fuck am I? This morning. Um, yeah, on code. We talk a lot about on code, especially in the space that we're in when we're talking about social justice and we've been talking about reparations. Um, with Native Black Americans, freedmen being on code with one another. Um, it's unfortunate that more of us aren't. And I know a lot of people get that twisted. They think that if you're on code with someone, you've got to just be totally in sync with them. You agree with everything that they say. And that's so untrue. You know, being on code means that for the collective, you don't go against the collective. You know, you ride with the collective no matter what, because that's what you do. Now, there's going to be some fucked up things that happen in the collective, and you don't necessarily have to ride with that individual or those individual things, but you don't. What you don't do is you don't go against the collective to bring out that individual. And I see that a lot. Um, People have to understand that we have a lot of outspoken Black Americans, because I can't call them freedmen because they're not always freedmen. A lot of these people are Black immigrants and they're a second generation or so, but they speak against Black Americans, Native Black Americans, full throated. And people have to understand, I expect now those people to be off code. I don't ever expect any allegiance from someone whose people's bones are not buried on this soil. I never expect it. I have seen it. You know, I mean, we've got enough treacherous behavior with people whose bones are buried on this soil. So when a person comes over here, when they flee another territory, because that's the way I look at it. You flee another territory and you come here seeking a better life, and then you turn your back. You turn your back on the very people who built this infrastructure, who you look like, who you basically are being categorized like. I have a problem with you. You are not on code. You are not on code. You are an individual who has grifted into a collective, and you are going to reap the benefits and the resources from that collective, but you're not in allegiance with them, and you'll speak against them. You are indeed off code. So I have a problem with that individual. I have a problem with those individuals, but I don't let it stop my movement. I don't let it stop my movement. What I do personally, I look at those individuals and then I try to figure out who let them in. We always used to say, who in the hell let the gate open? I want to know who let the gate open for some of those people. I watched an interview last night with Jesse Lee Peterson. And Jesse Lee Peterson is a very interesting individual to me. He is a very interesting individual to me. Do not put up BW anymore, Free. Do not put that up anymore. I'm changing it all today. I'm going to talk about it on this clip, but do not put up BW anymore. That put us in a lurch yesterday. And I think you understand where I'm at, but that put us in a lurch yesterday. And because my words, my content that I create does not have to hide behind a title. That's why I've really never given my Hap space and the streams that I do through Haps. That's why I've never, ever given this a show title. Yes, I needed to put something in there, so I put the Village Voice. But I will never use publicly anymore BW. I'm changing the channel name and everything. I will go over it, not in this clip, because I don't want to get too far off from what I'm talking about, and I don't want to be here all morning. Hell, I got to go back and check on the painter in a minute. But where I'm at with people who are not on code, and as I was saying, I was watching something with Jesse Lee Peterson, and he's interesting to me because he is so blatantly against freedmen, Native Black Americans, people who built this country. And I, you know what? I've never even actually looked up Jesse Lee Peterson's bio to see if he is indeed a Native Black American, if he is indeed a freedman. When I look at him, he's got that color. He doesn't even look like a real black man. He looks like when they put that shoe polish or shit on people to make them look black, because he looks like he could be Caucasian. And he just has brown shoe polish on. So, oh wow. Says he was born in Midway, Alabama. I know where that's at. Raised in Comer Hill, Alabama by his grandparents, who worked on the Comer family plantation where his great-grandparents had been enslaved a century earlier. His mother and father moved to Gary, Indiana, and East Chicago, Indiana, respectively, where they separately started new families of their own. So they left him. They left him in Alabama, moved. So this is probably why Jesse has a lot of problems. Like I said, I've never done any research on him. Says he was born with a cleft palate that was not repaired into his teens. So they left him as a scarred child. So you got to understand really why Jesse Lee Peterson may truly hate himself, truly hate black people. He probably hates his mama and daddy. They left him. Went and started 2 new families without him. Left him in Alabama with his grandmama on a plantation. So you have to understand where his hate, where his disdain for black Americans comes from. Please understand this. This shit does not just happen. You just don't wake up one day and say, I don't like my people. You look just like me, I don't like you. You don't just that. This is embedded in Jesse Lee Peterson. But of course, nobody cares about that. They just continue to interview him or bring him on their shows, and he has his shows. He has a platform to speak against black Americans. They can just say he's far right, he's a conservative or whatever. But Jesse Lee Peterson's main focus, his main goal is to speak against black Americans. And there's not anybody out here trying to stop that. So you have to understand that. Nobody tries to stop people when they speak against Black Americans. And I'm using that term, Black Americans, just to be concise. I go by freedmen. I already told you, I'm more than Black. I cannot go by descendant of slavery, descendant of slave anymore. I am a freedman. I realize that. There's no going back. There's no turning back now. I am a freedman. I was a freedman before. I just didn't identify as such. Hell, there were those years that I identified as an African American. Sorry, God. I identified as an African American. No matter what I've identified as, no matter what box I've checked, because there's been the African American box, and I've actually written in Black. But no matter what I identify as, I've never, ever strayed away from who I am, what I believe in, and the collective I ride for. See, that's where some people have a dichotomy. Some people have been middle of the road and now they're militant. Some people were militant, now they're middle of the road, or now they've gone all the way to the other side. There is a big difference between those individuals, myself, and other individuals. I've never had to waver. There's never been a need for me to waver. I love who I am. I love who my people are. I just don't like some of y'all motherfuckers. And some of y'all don't be on code. And we didn't really use that term before this political setting start. But some of y'all don't really be on code. And I know why you don't be on code. And other people probably know why you don't be on code. But do you really know why you don't be on code? Do you know why you would actually go against your collective? Purposely. You would purposely go against your collective? How could you actually speak up and say, you know what, I'm against this and I'm against that, even though I know it's going to be for the advancement of my people, I'm against it. How could you say that and think it's going to make sense? But it is, it is what it is. I'm just spilling coffee this morning, that's all. But it's all in the cup. As bad of a cup as it is, I told him to stir it. I went over my order twice. He was trying to fast talk me, trying to correct me. I ordered the same damn coffee every day, boy. Why are you trying to correct me on what I'm trying to tell you? I know I don't sound like I lack confidence when I step up to the microphone. I asked for a venti, hot mocha, non-dairy with coconut milk. That don't sound like somebody, can I get, is a grande bigger than a venti? Okay, can I, mocha, but no, I don't sound like that. I'm very thorough when I order my coffee. Just like I'm very thorough when I articulate on this video stream. It's no more than that. I don't have to make it more than anything that it is. I just make it what it is. I try to be as plain and as clear as possible. Because there doesn't pay me to use a whole bunch of big words or to have a whole bunch of motherfucking papers and shit flipping all in there. I mean, I kind of shit. I got all kind of information. You know what? At the end of the day, you could be in the midst of a library. It doesn't matter how many books are in there. How many have you read? How many have you understood? And how many can you utilize and put into your life? Put that shit into play. Because see, a book ain't nothing but a seed. And once that seed is planted, it's got to cultivate in your brain. Now you've got a harvest. But do you have a harvest that you can be nutritious with, or do you got a harvest of weeds? Trying to punish an entire group, what his parents did to him. Yes, he is. He's a scarred individual. He's a scarred individual. And I don't need to get into calling him a whole bunch of names. Everybody else who's talked to him has called him every name that he needs to be called. I don't need to do that. I don't need to argue or talk about a man, and his deficiencies. Because he is deficient. He is scarred. He is problematic. He's definitely off code. But why do we continue to entertain Jesse Lee? Why do we entertain Jesse Lee? He holds us back entertaining him. And the only reason I brought up it because I had to bring in something and I talk about someone being off code. You know who hates their job? Just to get off topic real quick, and I'm gonna jump right back on. You know who hates their job? People that work at Ross Educational Center. They hate their job. I done seen 3 people get out of their car today. I just saw somebody else pull up. And the way they wheel in, you can tell they must be almost late to work. One person must have supposed to have been here at 7:30. Where she got to work, you know, they must have to punch in or something. And then this lady just rolled in. She's good if she just got to be here before 8. We got like 8 minutes before 8. But I done seen people roll in. They must have to get stuff set up. They just look like they hate their job. I mean, they be dragging. They have this frown on their face. Yeah. So I don't know how much education is going on over at the Ross Medical Education Center. But the people who open up in the morning, they don't like getting here. They don't like getting here. The first person had to come out like 3 times just to get like one item out of their car. We weren't really getting a whole lot of shit. And I was like, damn, couldn't you have just took all that shit in when you went in? There you go. There you go. That's what I'm looking for, that body language. Body language tells everything. It tells everything. Sometimes I don't even notice my body language is bad. Ray calls my body language out all the time. She's like, just the way you're, you know, the way you're looking and the way you're walking or the way you're whatever. Sometimes your body language speaks before you open your mouth. And their body language says they hate their job. It does. I feel sorry for them. So entertaining folk like Jesse Lee Peterson and Candace Owens and Cedric Richmond and Jason Riley, you know, people like that who speak generally against the goodness of Native Black Americans, it's unfortunate. It's problematic. But why do we continue to entertain them? See, the thing is, they've got a whole platform because you got to understand, white people will always put a black person on their platform that's going to speak against black issues. You got a place. Fox is always going to hire a black journalist that will speak against the black collective. You hired. You come in, what's your affiliated political party? Republican? Come on in here. Let's talk to you. And then they'll give you a couple questions. And when you answer those questions full-throated against black Americans, man, shit. Oh, your desk is right over there. Your desk is right over there. Any conservative party, conservative related, whatever, if you're going to speak against black issues, you're in as a black person. They will not deny you. They'll just put you on retainer and say, look, we ain't got nobody else to talk about black people today. Will you come on and just spit some fire? We need you to spit some fire for like 2 minutes. For like 2 minutes, we just need you up, bro. And then we'll put you back. And we won't come get you again until we got some more shit that's happening for black folks that we'll need you to speak against. You ready? All right. And that's what they do. And people get all upset when people go against this. It's like, why? It's always the same individuals. It's always the same type of individual. You know. So being on code really just not speaking against the collective just to speak against the collective, because there's some things that I speak against the collective. I spoke against Juneteenth. I spoke against Juneteenth as a symbolic national holiday. I don't need another holiday where white folks can get paid to have a day off. I don't need that. Black people created Memorial Day. We now know this. But there's a ton of black people that don't get that day off. Most white people do. 4th of July, we were enslaved. What the hell were we celebrating that holiday for? On Thursday, July 4th, 1776, we had shackles on our feet. Why would we celebrate that day? Now, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all barbecuing and setting off sparklers and firecrackers and shit, okay? But for a motherfucker to say happy 4th of July, what's happy about it? What's happy about it? Because now you see people say happy Juneteenth. What's happy about it? Because they set a lot of us free legally. Again, shit was supposed to stop in 1863. Then we hit 1865, and now we really know that shit really didn't stop till December 6th, 1865. But shit really didn't stop then because we just had a man who was in what, South Carolina? He's in South Carolina and he's been working for over 20, 30 years and wasn't getting paid. We know slavery still exists. It's just whether it's in mass or not. He worked in like a restaurant or some shit. How do you not pay somebody that works in a restaurant? He sees everybody get their check. Here you go. Hey, Bob. There you go, Jim. All right, Karen. All right, Barbara. Yeah, and you just don't get a check? But you done cooked and washed dishes and cleaned up and all that shit for the last 30 years and you're not getting paid? Slavery indeed still exists. You didn't hear about that, Free? You didn't hear about the black man that's been working for a white man, I think it's about 30 years. Not paying the brother. Not gonna give you shit. Get back there and cook. Get back there and clean. Clean up on table 3. I mean, come on, man. I'll send you the link. But yeah, being on code means a lot. Being on code means a lot. I'm sorry, Free. You said what happened? That was about 20 minutes ago. I didn't even see your text. It says what happened. Did I go dark? Did I go dark on Haps? Haps been really giving me the blues, bro. Haps been really giving me the blues. I don't know what that's about. Why was I driving with the camera outward this day? It's a memory, and I'm driving with the camera outward. I don't know why. Oh, I was in a crazy ass traffic jam. Oh shit. So a year ago today was when I seen them race soldiers messing with the young sister on the side of the road. She was running to try to get to work. And they was fucking with her. And I pulled over on the side of the road. And, you know, I was just basically doing a wellness check. I was basically doing a wellness check. You know, I pulled up on Livonia. It was Livonia police. I'm going to share the motherfucker again. Shit I do, motherfucker. Shit I do. Just cause. They saw her running to work. She was running to Red Robin, if I'm not mistaken. And they was giving her a hard. You could tell she was like losing her shit. Pretty soon it would have just ended up with her being in the back of a police car. And who knows what happens after that. We done lost so many sisters once they go to the jailhouses. I was really trying not to see a Sandra Bland situation. You know, now we don't have the young sister over there in Harper Woods get killed, and they saying that was natural causes. We've had so many other sisters been apprehended and been assaulted and brutalized and murdered. I just didn't want to see that happen to that young sister. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know it was a woman. Yeah, I took her to work. I didn't even know it was a woman. She looked kind of boyish, to be honest with you. I think she might even had a beater on, or she just, she looked, masculine, She wasn't real shapely or whatever. And I thought it was a young man, but it ended up being a young sister. Once I pulled over, I was like, damn, that's a woman, I mean, it was like, I might go back and look at it myself, So much shit has been done and so much shit has happened since then. I just look at, man, I don't know, man. I guess that day I was trying to be on code, I was trying to be on code. If my daughter was out there, I would have wanted somebody to fuck with my daughter like that. Pull over and make sure that she's good and she gets to where she needs to go. And she offering me money, come by, I'll hook you up. No. You're not gonna cost yourself your job just for me, just for me making sure that you get to work on time. Look like she going to the Ross Medical Education. She got more pep in her step. Look like she going in as a student. She's not dressed like they dress. She just dressed in regular clothes. Look like she got more pep in her step than the workers got. And if they can't match her energy, they're going to kill her learning spirit. She's trying to go in there and learn something. And if you're not spiritually set to deal with her, then you're not going to, teach her right. And how's she going to get a medical education and go out and get a job if she's got underwhelming teaching? See, I notice all that shit. I notice all that. Yeah, she looked like a little dude. Which is nothing wrong with that. Because I didn't give a fuck about that. It wasn't like I wasn't going to help her because she looked, boyish or manly. That person I told you that pulled up, they just now getting out of their car. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. These people don't like where they work. They don't like where they work. Check on your people if they work at Ross. They don't like where they work. My baby made me a cake, man. She is 16-year-old so-and-so, but I tell you, she's got love in her heart she got love in her heart in spite of the way she has been treated in her life. Her mother's done everything that she could for her. She's done everything she could for her. She gave her life, and then she gave her a life. But she ain't had the best of luck with paternal figures. So I've really just tried to come in where I could and match the energy that I want her to have, that I seen her have, And we really ain't never had too many fucked up times, I'll be honest with you. Shit gets a little tense, but I think that just because shit just be tense. But she knows I'm a rider for her. She knows that. She knows I'll cut a motherfucker up. She knows that. She knows that for sure. She knows goddamn well if somebody fucks with her, she probably not gonna see Shannon for a minute. Because unless the motherfuckers get apprehended before they get caught, if somebody did something to her, it ain't gonna go good. It ain't gonna go good. And I'm sorry to say, I don't have that type of control when it comes to my kids. And this ain't got nothing to do with biology. Fuck you up, fucking with my baby. That's being on code right there, doing the right thing by your children. Anybody you're involved in their life, you being involved in their life the right way, that's being on code right there. There's so many things about being on code. It just ain't got nothing to do with black power and politics and reparations and this, that, and the other. Now, being on code is just being a rider for your people. And your kids are your people. It don't matter that I didn't create her. It don't matter that I didn't produce her. If I'm in her life, I got to facilitate for her, though. And what's more important, the person that produced her or the person that facilitates for her? And I'm not trying to minimize anybody's role in her life or lack thereof. I hope y'all understand it. I got a fucking skull cap on right now because it's 50 degrees out in this bitch. Frida, I don't even want to fucking hear what the temperature is in Florida. All right? I don't want to hear it. It's probably 80 already down there. We just got to be on code. You know, I started doing these videos 50, 52, like when I think I started this video. It might be a little warmer now that the sun's really actually starting to come up. It was fucking 50. Come on, man. No, I don't want you to track my shit. Fuck, I need the Weather Channel tracking me for. Here, nigga. That's what it is right now. 54, and it feels like 54. Which feels like 40, because it's been goddamn 80, 90. Shit. This is some bullshit. I had to pull out the straight game Scully. What's wrong with this? I mean, I poked my head outside and was like, whoa, shit. Where the scraper at? God damn. Damn. Shout out to that motherfucker, Dewan B. He's a funny motherfucker. He's a content creator. I watch a lot of his shit. You hit me up to him, freak. Bring your ass. Bring some of the sunshine too, goddammit. Shit. They say, oh, 85 this weekend, but it's gonna rain all weekend. I'm like, fuck you. What you gonna be hot for in rain? That's like bath water coming down and shit when it be raining like that. You're hot as fuck and it's raining. Who wants to deal with that? So, yeah, Dewan B, man, I've been watching this shit. And he keeps me up on a lot of this sports shit because I don't really follow sports too much now until it gets into the playoffs and stuff like that. All the regular shit for NBA, it's boring to me now. And now, the biggest thing for me right now, it's just another dagger in the heart of white supremacy. You know, they don't really talk about the Final Four in the NBA like they talk about the Final Four in the college basketball tournaments. But there's down to 4 teams. Down to 4 teams in the NBA playoffs. Y'all know y'all know basketball, y'all already know. It's down to 4 teams. But see, I ain't seen nobody talk about this. Everybody talking about this and they talking about that, but they ain't talking about this. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on code. We need to be perpetuating this. Just like we perpetuate the other bullshit, we got to perpetuate this. Out of the 4 teams that are left in the NBA playoffs, 3 of them have black head coaches. Three of the 4 remaining basketball teams in the NBA playoffs have black head coaches. Uh-oh. Now the workers are really starting to file in. Let me see. This ain't 11. You know they were supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock.
and they just throw it in, talking to each other like ain't no big thing. They probably managers. They probably don't have to punch in. They probably don't have to punch in. They're not students. They're definitely workers. They are, because they've all dressed up. I've only seen like non-scrub wearing people walk in. I think those are the students. So that myth that black head coaches aren't needed, because that's a myth. Black head coaches are needed. They're viable, and they're productive, and they're successful. 3 out of the last 4 teams in the NBA playoffs have black head coaches. 3 out of the 4 remaining. Who's on the sidelines? Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, all on the same team, coached by a white man who I felt like he didn't deserve that job. I ain't got nothing against Steve Nash. He the baddest Canuck I've ever seen. He the baddest Canuck I ever seen. I ain't got nothing against the brother. But he didn't deserve to coach that team. That team should have probably went to Mark Jackson. It's just me. You know, I'm just looking at history. And there's probably another deserving coach that he should have got that team, you know. Help. You know, yeah. Okay. I might have liked to see Doc Rivers go to that. Doc coaches well with guard-led teams because he was a guard. See, like when he gets those teams that have the bigger players that are the stars, the ones and the two, the first option, second option, he doesn't do as well. It's just me. I'm just saying. And I could be wrong about that, but Doc seems to coach teams better when they have that guard as the number one option. I would have loved to have seen him because it don't matter what position. KD can bring the ball up. He's fucking 18 feet tall, but he can bring the ball up. And Doc would know how to coach a team around that. But then you got Kyrie and you got James Harden, Kyrie Irving. They'd still be playing. They'd still be playing if Doc had coached that team. Steve Nash didn't know how to make the adjustments. And I'm not going to turn this into a sports cast, but I just wanted to acknowledge that out of the last 4 teams, because Durant, Irving, and Harden are on the bench. Russell Westbrook wasn't going to go deep anyway, but he on the bench. LeBron on the bench. Everybody who was coached by a non-black coach sitting. I don't know exactly how many black coaches there are in the NBA now. But I know 3 of them. I know 3 of them are still in the playoffs. 3 of them still have an opportunity to win a championship ring. Whereas there's a whole bunch of white ones that don't. And they pulling their little power moves. You know, Rick Carlisle, he done quit. He done quit in Dallas. They talking about he might be the coach in Boston. But he said he can't do it no more. He don't want to do it no more. Yeah, I guess not, because they just done had an opening up in Boston. And it looks like Brad, what's the other boy that was the coach in college, he was the coach. He done moved into the front office. Rick Carlisle would be just like his kind of coach. I don't think they're going to bring another black coach into Boston. Not for a minute. They'll bring some more black players in there, but they're not going to bring another black coach in Boston. They don't like us that much. They don't want us running shit. Okay? They don't want us running shit. If you're from Boston, you better be from New Edition. That's about it. Yeah, you know we got lurkers free. Come on now. Motherfuckers that don't dip in here and say hello this early and shit. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Fuck you, motherfucker. You know, they just come in and just sit and they just want to see what I'm saying or what I'm not saying. I get it. That's why we don't use that BW no more. Hell, I don't even go to BW3s no more. Shit. When you get online, you should have two things that you keep in mind. Your message and how it's going to affect others. Not you. Not you. It affected you enough to amplify it. So it doesn't really matter about how it affects you, but how is it going to affect others? And is it going to positively affect others or is it going to negatively affect others? So there's a reason why we're in this space. We're not just here. I mean, anybody can hit send, go live. Anybody can do that shit. Kids do that all day. But when you're an adult, a so-called grown-up, and you hit play, send, record, whatever, you have a certain responsibility as a native Black American, as a freedman. You have a responsibility to others. We in line here, free. We in line here this morning. And when you take it upon yourself to spew irrational negativity, however it's affected you doesn't really matter at this point because you're the one that went live. Nobody made you go live. You went live. You chose to go live. Nobody coerced you to do that. Nobody forced you to do that in any way. And you get out and speak viciously to the point where it can actually hurt individuals or put people in the lurch to where they could be hurt. That's a lack of responsibility. And I condemn that behavior. I condemn the behavior of someone who could take a bad situation and make it worse selfishly. And I would say ignorantly, but they know better. Oh, they know better, but they choose to do it this way because that's the way they do things. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to the collective. And unfortunately, it's an embarrassment to the very individuals that are being spoken about. But it's harmful. What's worse than it being embarrassing, because you can get past the embarrassment, but there's irreversible damage done. Every woman I see pull in here is on her phone. They make these turns. One's almost hit this island here, makes a wide turn. They're on their phone. It's like, you've got one last turn before you turn into your parking space. You can't put your phone down just for that last turn. Whatever conversation you're in, is it worth you running into this island? And today it would be running into me. For that, whoever's on that phone. Yeah, she knows she's late to work. She knows she's late to work. She on the phone now. She was on the phone. Now she's struggling to pull up her scrubs. You know, she got shit falling out of her vehicle. She's not prepared. She's not prepared to do this day. She's not prepared. People don't understand that wind down. When you pull in to work and you know you got to get out in a few minutes, you need to be off the phone, all your communication done. Maybe your radio even needs to be turned off. You got to get focused. For me, I need my music. I like my music to through my thoughts. But it didn't help. So she had to jump right out. That means she's late. She's late. It's 8:21. She's late. You can tell she's late because she's shuffling. She's not like walking. That phone's away. That phone's away. She didn't walk up to the door with the phone. So you know she ain't on time or before she's supposed to be there. She's well after the time she's supposed to be there. She's going to walk in, you know, and what's some other people going to say? They've been late too. They ain't going to say shit to her. Who I feel sorry for, not them workers. I feel sorry for the youngins that's trying to get education over there because they not getting the education over there the right way. You got a lot of disgruntled chicks over there. I ain't seen no brothers that work over there yet, you know, whether they Caucasian or not. It's been all Caucasian women. Yeah, all Caucasian women. Yep, sure has. I'm going to call it the way I fucking see it. I want to make sure people know that ain't no sluggish black woman walking up in that joint. The one black woman that walked up in there looked like she was a student or something. She had some pep in her step, and she got off the bus. She came from way over here. So she had just got off the bus. She had the most energy of anybody out there. Putting out a harmful message, a message that could hurt individuals who are already hurting, should never, ever, ever be on your mind. And maybe some people don't do it intentionally, but like I said, I can't say this person did this ignorantly because that's giving them a pass. Your ass know better, motherfucker. You did it purposely, and you did it stupidly. How could you be so harmful to hurting people? Hell, if you're not prepared to teach the students over here, you're hurting their ability to get a good education. And I'm not saying that they're hurting when they're coming in to get an education, but they're in need. They're wanting. How can you affect someone who's wanting by your behavior? Man, I need to have a motherfucking robe on this morning. I need to be up in a pulpit this morning. I feel like I'm preaching. Let me get back on Facebook here and just see. Girl, turn the heat on. Them dogs cold. Oh my God. fucking gross, man. Reversible condoms. I hate Facebook some days. So funny. I got a friend who tells me that I'm going to be a preacher one day. I'm like, I am so not. She always used to say it, but she doesn't say it as much anymore. I am so not. I don't want to lead anybody that way. So Diane, I'm not changing anything while I'm on my video. I gotta edit my captions and shit when I put shit on these certain political sites. But I'm not doing it while I'm doing this, even though I'm scrolling and shit, really not paying attention to my clip. But anyways, oh, I meant to get back on here just so I could see my stream. I gotta see the hashtags, see what I have not talked about. So I talked about being on code off and on. I talked about the NBA playoffs, the 3 remaining black coaches out of 4 teams. That's 75% success rate right there. 75% success rate. Now, you go look at what the failure rate is amongst white coaches with so-called better teams. And that brings me to my hometown team. Y'all know I ride. I don't go with no other team. I know there's a lot of motherfuckers out here who like the Lakers in Michigan. And there's a lot of motherfuckers who like the Celtics. And a lot of motherfuckers who like all different types of teams. You know, the Pistons aren't their team, even though that's where we were born and raised. This is our team. They've only liked the Pistons when we were winning. I'm not fair weather. I like them motherfuckers no matter what. I like them teal green uniform Piston motherfuckers. I did. I liked them because they're our home team. Who else am I going to like? A lot of people just started liking Cleveland Cavaliers because of LeBron. You know, goddamn well you don't like Cleveland. Now they like the Lakers because of LeBron. You look like a fool. They liked Miami because of LeBron. Didn't like Miami because of D. Wade. They liked it because of LeBron. You just follow LeBron? Just say you like LeBron. You're not a team fan. You're a LeBron fan. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm a Pistons fan. And I'm critical of the Pistons because they've made some of the worst mistakes in history. They made a mistake one year that cost us a lot. It's cost us a lot. And last night, we won the #1 draft pick. And what I'm seeing is the GM and the coach are deeply spiritual. I don't know how religious, but they're deeply spiritual. They call out to God a lot. They thank God and want to thank the Lord and thank, they do it a lot. You would have thought like they just won a BET award. You know, I want to give honor to God, as I smoke my blunt. I want to thank the Lord as I drink my Cristal. They're not like that, but they just thank God a lot. I don't mind anybody thanking God. You do what you do. But sports is sports. And God ain't on that court playing. And if you want to thank God, give it up to God. But who you going to thank in the end ain't going to have nothing to do with God. Because if you win, you're going to get to thanking them players around you. And if you lose, you're going to end up thanking the owner of the team for the opportunity to coach or to be a GM and have a good day? Can I get a letter of recommendation? You know you good when you can get a letter of recommendation when a motherfucker fire you. I've gotten that before. I've literally gotten a letter of recommendation from companies I was terminated from. They couldn't say shit about my production. My production was a motherfucker. But I was also a motherfucker. So they interviewed the general manager after they got the #1 draft pick. Now, everybody did the symbolic shit last night. Like Houston had Akeem the Dream as their representative, and the Detroit Pistons had Ben Wallace. You know, Ben Wallace is going into the Hall of Fame this year. So it was kind of a symbolism thing, which I'll fuck with because it's sports. It ain't like it was some political shit, but I'll fuck with it. So I understand the play. They building it up because Ben's going into the Hall of Fame. Ben wasn't even drafted. They have Ben as the #1 draft pick person, but Ben didn't even get drafted into the NBA. He had to find a team that would take him. And then he became Ben Wallace. Fear the Fro Wallace. Get that shit out of here, Wallace. Cornrows just to the top of the neck, Ben Wallace. Remember when he had them struggles? Remember he had them struggle cornrows? They wasn't really long enough, and they got just to the bottom of his hairline. I was fucking with Ben Wallace then, before motherfuckers really knew. I was fucking when he had that TWA. When Ben had that TWA, I fucked with him. I saw he was a hard worker. People didn't understand he was trying to grow that. That's why he had that TWA. And then he got them struggles. He went on and got them struggles and let him go. Then they got a little bit longer, and they got a little bit longer, and they got a little bit longer. And I think Ben just didn't get his hair braided one game and said, fucking pick that shit out, and it caught on. I don't believe that was purposely done. I just think Ben was like, man, I'm going to let my shit just go for a day, and picked his shit out, and that Fear the Fro shit caught on like wildfire. He went flying through the air to block a shot and go up for a dunk. Next thing you know, you had every little white kid in the stands with a black afro wig on. I tell you, it was something else. That was a great day. That was a great time. Me and Kobe used to go to the games, meet Kobe and the girls and shit. It was a great day. Season ticket holders. I wasn't buying no motherfucking tickets online, bitch. I had season tickets then. Parking pass season tickets, motherfuckers. We've done this. We've done this. Y'all probably y'all don't know why I be working so hard now. Because see, I done put it out there. And you go through relationships and all kinds of shit. And I done lost everything. Hell, twice. Just lost it all. Not really lost it all, I just walked away. I'm not going to sit around with a fucking notepad and say, oh man, I bought this and I'm taking this. And no, when I'm done, I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'll start over because I can, because I'm capable. What Dave Chappelle said when he was talking about Rick James, I'm one of the greatest motherfuckers of all time. Motherfucker, I'm one of the most productive motherfuckers of all times. I can figure it out. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Shannon, I'm an Aquarius. Give me a minute. I'll figure it out. That's what you need to understand. If you give me a minute, I'll figure it out. If you put pressure on me and you make me think of something quickly, you might go. Don't rush me, bitch. So, excuse me 1 second. I can't voice text it because I got the Bluetooth on and it won't pick up. So I had to type it out. You know, I got fat fingers, so it went slow. Somebody said something about Natty, and I just had to reciprocate. But I got a little bit off target with my topic. But what I want to say is, they interviewed old boy, Troy Weaver, the GM for the Pistons. And he went in when he was doing, he did the local one. He like, oh man, I want to print, thank God for this, thank God for that. I was like, oh God damn. I hate when Dwayne Casey would get, you know, interviewed, and then, you know, they'd say something to him and he'd be like, you know, just by the grace of God, like, oh God damn it. Doesn't have anything to do with the grace of God. That motherfucker jumped higher than the other guy. Just say that. Our guys really got out there and fucking jumped high tonight. Just say it. Don't be scared. You ain't got to give it up to God. You don't see the white coach over here saying, oh man, you know, it was the Jesus in us tonight. Yeah. Jesus really came through with it in a clutch. Come on, man. You got athletes out there. You got fucking freaks of nature out there. Give it up to them. Stop getting in your Bible and shit. You want to get in your playbook? That's one thing. But get out your Bible. This is sports. Professional sports. You're being paid millions of dollars to coach, to general manage, to whatever. Other millionaires who are playing. Do your job. Stop preaching. You know, unless you're going to give up some of that fucking millions of dollars to the black communities, you're going to tithe? You're going to tithe to the black community? I'd really like to see more athletes and like that really reach out and say, hey, reparations is due. Even though we rich motherfuckers over here, we still need reparations for the people who ain't got it. But you don't see that many athletes stand up for it because they don't want to get that political. They'll do Black Lives Matter shit, but they won't do shit that matters for black lives. Tell you what, I dropped another motherfucking jewel. I'm passing around a collection plate. I don't know if anybody caught that shit. Whoever them lurking motherfuckers are free, did they catch it? We know we got lurkers on Facebook and Halfspace. They come in and they'll never say shit. But it's all good. Athletes and entertainers. They'll do shit for the Black Lives Matter, but they won't really do shit that matters to black lives. That's why I just gave you the repeat. It sounded fresher the first time I said it because I just said it off the dome. That time I actually tried to remember what I said. Big deal. We over an hour, man. We over an hour just having a discussion, and I'm literally. I don't know why you got to be a lurker. I don't know why. You could say good morning since you up there freezing my goddamn dogs out. Turn the heat on. Turn the heat on. I was just coming by, grab some sugar in a minute. I'm gonna go check on this fucking painter again. I think he went out and got him a half pint or something after I left him. He'd been nipping. Now he can't find his phone and shit. I don't know what, you know. The walls are getting covered. That's all that matters. We pulled him out slow, Free. We pulled him out slow. She felt guilty. She felt guilty. She had to come out. She had to come out of the lurker closet. So they did this interview with him, and in typical Detroit Pistons fashion, this is how the interview went. Once he learned that he got the #1 draft pick. Hopefully, I can get back to it because I didn't do my due diligence and record it just so I'd have the audio. I fucked up. I know. Hold on a second. NBA. Okay, here we go. Was this it? Yes. Hopefully. Oh, wait a minute. No, it was the Free Press. Free. Here we go. Come on, man. Okay, yeah. I think this is it. No, there's a video. God damn it. I think that, that I don't know how to like go back into my, oh, I know what it is. I know what I did. Sorry. Yeah, it was here. Hold on a second. Here we go.
You've been selected.
Sorry, it's got an ad or something.
Been selected to participate.
Thanks for joining us.
Listen.
So this time we'll open it up for questions. Try to get through as many questions as we can. And we will open it up first to Rod Beard.
Typical.
Obviously, winning the draft is one. What does this mean for your rebuild? What does this help?
Obviously, we get to add another young player to the restoration process. We're excited to be in this position. But it means that we got a lot of work to do, and we're going to be diligent about it, but it always helps to be able to add #1 pick and such a talented group of players to choose from. So we're excited.
Here you go. Watch this. Listen.
Next, we'll go to Omari Sankofa.
Listen.
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
Before the lottery,
And everything. Came to me and
He acted like he understood that shit.
who did we want to have represent us? Ben Wallace was the first name that came to mind. He epitomizes everything that we want to.
Why would he lie? The first person that's going to come to mind is going to be Isaiah Thomas. Maybe not Joe Dumars because they fired him. But the first person that comes to mind is Isaiah Thomas. You know, I mean, if you don't want Zeke because Zeke has done so much other shit with other teams, okay, I get it. Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince. I mean, I understand Ben Wallace was the franchise player, so to speak, because, you know, going to work, hard working hard, whatever. But you don't think of Ben Wallace as the first option when you're trying to get the number 1 draft pick, seeing that Ben wasn't drafted. I mean, come on, dog. Be honest. That shit was so scripted. He's the first person I thought of. Okay. But, you know, the fact that this shit was so distorted and they didn't make sure the guys had good sound. We're talking about $1 billion, I mean, not a multi-billion-dollar situation here. Pistons are worth billions. You got the NBA worth billions. Y'all couldn't set up a good Wi-Fi? Y'all couldn't set up good Zoom calls? This shit was horrible. And granted, I didn't look at any of the other draft picks, interviews with the coaches, but I don't give a fuck. All I care about is Detroit. I'm about Detroit. 25 minutes that way is Detroit. And thankfully, the Pistons play there now. And I got to drive all the way out to fucking Auburn Hills when I decided to start going to games again. I hated that shit, but I did that shit. But this was just some more made-up symbolic bullshit. Yeah, he's the first guy I thought of, man. You know, hard worker, you know, this, that, and the other. Ben didn't get drafted. He's going into the Hall of Fame. That's the big selling point for Detroit Pistons right now. They have nothing else to hang their hat on. Well, now they do. They've got the number 1 draft pick. But if we had got like number 5 again, it wouldn't have mattered. See, you do the 2003 draft, right? And I know this video is getting a little long in the tooth. I get it. The 2003 draft, the one that Joe Dumars got really wrong. He got a lot of them wrong, but this is the one that he got really wrong. This was the draft that we had the number 2 pick. Now, we knew we weren't going to get number 1. We knew goddamn well we weren't going to get number 1. We knew it. The world knew it. Nobody was going to fall on their head and not draft LeBron James number 1. Number 1 player on the planet. High school player. Hell, he was the number 1 pro player at that point. We just didn't know yet. So we knew we weren't going to get the number 1 player. Right? So we get the number 2 pick. And the number 2 pick could have been a multitude of players. Because our number 2 pick was Darko Milicic. He was from overseas. Turkey, I don't know, somewhere like that, Croatia, I don't know. He was from one of them places where nothing but white people. I mean, they off-white. What do you call it, like eggshell? I don't know. And only black people over there generally probably playing like on some sports team or something. They ain't got a big faction of black people over there. So that's who we got. We got Darko. Right after LeBron James, we got Darko. Darko seemed like he was going to be a halfway decent European player. They showed all of his highlights over there, playing against other Europeans. He was okay, but he was tall as a motherfucker. When you 8 feet tall, you gonna do some shit. Whether you want to or not, you're gonna bump into the rim sooner or later. You 8 feet. And Joe Dumars made the decision to draft Darko versus drafting some other people. Darko played 10 years in the NBA. He bounced around 10 years. Darko got a pension. That's the goal, right? You work your job, get your pension. Even though NBA players are paid millions upon millions, upon millions upon millions, you still work to get that fucking pension. That's any professional sport. Football, basketball, baseball, work long enough to get that pension. So when you do spend all that money on strippers and cars with Gucci interiors, you'll get something still coming in when you're retired to take care of your ass, and you ain't got no medical benefits. So all that money is going to go to medical care. Hopefully you bought some shit and you now own it outright. So I just want to talk about a couple players that Joe didn't draft that he could have drafted at number 2 instead of Darko. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of the draft. See, I know what everybody else does. Like, he could have drafted him. He had a great career. He could have drafted. No, let me just who he could have drafted that had a better career than Darko. Kyle Korver. He was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th to the last pick in the draft. Kyle Korver played 17 years. 17 years. That was up till last year. Darko Milicic scored like 2,000 points. Kyle Korver, he scored 11,000, almost 12,000. Move up a couple more picks. James Jones, 14 years. Played 14 years. Mostly a role player. Mostly a role player. But he played. He was one of them players that could come in and spark a team. I'd have took him over Darko. Mo Williams, remember him playing for Cleveland? He could shoot the 3, played 13 years. He scored almost 11,000 points. He was 11th from the bottom. Hell, Matt Bonner played 12 years, had almost 5,000 points. And then we have Willie Green from the D. Willie Green, 12 years, 6,000 points. We could have had Willie G at number 2. Been better than Darko. Let's move on up a little bit more. I don't even know who Steve Blake is, but he played 13 fucking years. I'm sorry, I forgot Zaza. Zaza Pachulia played 16 years, scored 7,400 points. Darko scored 2,000. He was the number 2 draft pick. Everybody wanted to talk about how Kwame Brown was a bust. Darko wasn't a bust? Oh, they didn't talk about Darko because Darko white. Okay. You bitches. Can we go up to 29th? The last player drafted in the first round. The last player, Josh Howard, 10 years, 7,200 points. Go up one more, Barbosa. Leonardo Barbosa, remember Barbosa? 9,000 points. Kendrick Perkins, who I hated as a player because he never played for us. I probably would have loved Kendrick Perkins had he played for the Pistons. But I hated him as a player because I didn't like, when he played. He actually scored 4,000 points. He wasn't a big scorer, but he played 14 years. These are the last three guys drafted in the first round. Hell, Carlos Delfino played for the Pistons for a while. Played 8 years and scored 4,000 points. Scored twice as many points as Darko. Travis Outlaw, 11 season, 5,200 points. Now we start getting into players like Boris Diaw, 9,000 points, 14 years. Dante Jones played at Duke, so he even got a good education. Hopefully he went back if he didn't graduate. I'm thinking he played a little bit. I don't think he came out in first year, did he? I don't know. He scored 3,500 points. Now we're going to start creeping into some people that y'all know. Everybody knows David West. David West, he played 15 years, got him a couple rings, 14,000 points. I mean, Darko got him a ring too. He didn't earn that motherfucker, but he got it. Then we're going to move all the way up. Luke Rittenauer, 12 years, 7,700 points. Darko scored 2,000 points as the number 2 pick. 2,000 over 10 years. 2,000. That's 200 points a year. Michael Jordan used to score 200 points a week. Nick Collison, 14 years, 5,000 points. All these people produced more than Darko produced. We could have got TJ Ford that year. He scored almost 5,000 points in 8 years. Chauncey wasn't going to be there forever. It would have been better than getting an aged Allen Iverson. I didn't like when Allen Iverson came here to play. He was past his prime, and they put too much pressure on him. We weren't going to win any games. Allen was just going to the casino every night. Chris Kaman from Central Michigan, number 6 pick. Played 13 years. Scored 8,200 points. Chris Kaman could have been our number 2 lottery pick. Scored 4 times as many points as Darko scored. Played 3 years longer. Now, we done got to the nitty gritty. I know this sports shit ain't really interesting at all to talk about. I'm not talking about the interesting. I just want to let you know how many motherfuckers didn't get drafted, black and white, because they went with what they thought was the hot thing. They went with the new European player. Everybody wanted that hot European player back then. Tony Kukoc, you got everybody's, figure that, just keep going over there, getting 8-foot motherfuckers, and come bring them back, and we can make them stars over here. No. The way they play basketball over there and the way we play basketball over here it doesn't translate for all them cats. A lot of them are just a half a step short already, so you're already fucked up. They're a half a step short. Then they can't jump as high. Fundamentally, they're usually pretty sound, but if you a half a step slower than the next guy, I don't give a fuck how fundamentally sound you are. A half a second, he's already at the rim dunking on you. When he goes in for the rebound, you're just now jumping. Half a second is a long time. 0.5 seconds is a lifetime. Here's who Joe Dumars could have drafted over Darko. Dwayne Wade, 16 years, 23,000 points. Chris Bosh, 13 years, 17,000 points. And the one that he gets cooked for all the time for not drafting, for thinking that he went to college and won a national championship as a freshman, wasn't good enough to get drafted right behind LeBron James. Hell, Cleveland probably was like, damn, do we take Melo or do we take LeBron? No, we take the easy bet. LeBron ain't going to college. Melo went to college. Melo just wanted a break. See, if Melo went right from high school to the pros, it might have been different. Melo needed a break, and the break was just to stop in Syracuse, get that title, get him a little bit of them college snow bunnies, chocolate bunnies. I don't know how many black women that really go to Syracuse. So that's why I said snow bunnies. I think there was more of them up there. Or, he might have just dipped back to Baltimore a lot. Whatever. Some tells me he knocked off a few up there, though. So, instead of drafting Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and Carmelo Anthony, Joe decided to draft Darko. Carmelo has 27,000 points. More points than Dwayne Wade. More points than Chris Bosh. More points than Kirk Heinrich. Chris Kaman. All these other top 10 players. Right behind LeBron James, Darko Milicic. You're basically saying the guy that's right behind LeBron James, LeBron is giving you 18 years of 1,300 games, 50,000 minutes played, and 35,000 points. Darko gave you 10 years, 468 games played, 8,636 minutes, and 2,800 points. He only fell, about 32,000 points less than LeBron, about 42,000 minutes, about 900 games in 8 years. He only fell that shy. Other than that, he'd probably be a Hall of Famer. Yeah. White privilege. Any segment I do, I can put in white supremacy. I can insert white privilege. Any segment. And I challenge that to anybody that's going to create content out here, because that's another way you can stay on code. I don't give a fuck if Joe Dumars did draft Darko Milicic. White supremacy made him draft a European player who nobody knew about, nobody really heard about, over Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and the all-time great Central Michigan University superstar, Chris Kaman. We drafted Darko Milicic. And I just can't forget him standing up behind everybody when we won and shit. And he got a suit on. I don't even think he had a fucking uniform on and shit. He was so fucking deactivated at that point. I think he just had a suit with his fucking baseball cap on, looking like a fucking cancer patient. Motherfuckers put them caps on and shit, and they don't fit them right. I hate that shit. I got a hat in here. Yeah, I got a hat. I hate when they put them goddamn hats on. I mean, this is the way my goddamn hat fits. You see the way my hat fits? This motherfucker gets right up there at the goddamn championship thing and put his hat on. I hate that shit. Look, just like a cancer patient, when they just put a baseball hat on and the shit don't fit right, he got up there and the shit's all too big and shit. Darko. He got a fucking championship ring. That's Joe's championship ring. He owns that championship ring. That's why he got fired. Because he never really regrouped after that. Joe never came back from Darko. He never came back from Darko. He never recovered. That was the biggest blunder in NBA history. The biggest blunder. Hell, I don't even know if I can put this motherfucker on. It was 50 degrees. It was 54 a few minutes ago. I mean, we could have had so many other players here, but we got Darko. Darko. And then they try to do like a Darth Vader thing. It never panned out. We played like 10 games here. Darko Vader, some stupid shit. I don't know. Never even panned out. The marketing never even got to it. Because he never took off here. He never took off anywhere. Hopefully he took off back to Turkey, wherever the fuck he's from. What I got here? They see me rolling. They lurking. Got it. So I'm going to end because I'm an hour 37 in. We just been talking. I hope he can go down there and get his shit expunged. Stop telling everybody that he's carrying guns around. You can't own no gun, motherfucker. Stop it. Stop it. Stop all these fallacies. Stop all these fallacies. You motherfuckers. I hate y'all. I hate y'all. Y'all get on this motherfucker and just lie and shit. Why y'all lie? Why y'all get on here and lie and shit? This shit goes out to the world. Well, it goes out to the 12 motherfuckers like my shit goes out to. But people watch your shit when you lie than when you tell the truth. That's the crazy thing. You know, I already know this message is going to hit about 50 people. But let a motherfucker get on here lying, that shit's going to go viral. That shit's going to go viral. Get the lying. Everybody want to hear it. Tell the truth. Oh, fuck all that shit. You're always talking about that reparation shit. And you're always talking about that black shit. Tell me some lies and shit. Yeah, you stupid motherfuckers. Let me tell you this, though. I ain't going to tell you no lies on this. I'm going to speak on that in just a second. I'm going to speak on this just a second. Because I'm pissed off about it too. Me and Hitter be in the same motherfucking spirit sometimes. I'm gonna speak on the young sister. I don't even know her proper name, to be honest with you. I don't even know her proper name. Is it Shakari or Shakari? I don't know how you pronounce her name. I've never even actually heard her name pronounced because I've never watched her run or anything. I just see the videos and she be running by everybody. She just run by everybody. So I've never seen anything where somebody said her name. I just see it spelled out. And I think her name is actually Carrie. And I don't know where the Shaw comes from, but I see Carrie in a lot of places and then I see the addition of Shaw. But anyway, it don't matter. I'm about to touch on this right now. I'm about to touch on this. Just 1 second, though. 1 second. Let me get back because I think I only got the one more thing to talk about, and then I'm gonna tap in on this. I'm gonna tap in on Shakari because I'm really hot. I'm really hot today. Yeah. Okay, so I got two more things to talk about. The first thing is all this fake shit. You know, hey, look, man, we grew up, man. We have parents and grandparents and shit that wore wigs and shit. So black folks ain't got a problem with faux shit. Okay. We ain't got a problem with faux shit. Not faux shit, not faux. Okay? Not faux. I'm talking about faux like F-A-U-X, faux. Okay? Wigs, black women been wearing wigs for a long time. We get that. Black men been wearing toupees and shit. Now they got the new age toupees. They got motherfuckers getting toupees with twists in them. They got motherfuckers getting toupees with wave patterns in them. You just ain't trying to cover up that hole. You trying to cover it up with size, style. Black people used to shit like that. Okay? So we not fucked up with shit like that. We used to faux shit. Okay? Then they went to titties. You know, the fake titties came out. Well, by and large, most black women got some titties. Let's just be honest. You're going to see some skinny ones. You're going to see some A-cups out in your midst. But most black women got titties. The average black woman got some titties. Generally, she can be proud of. The average black woman can be proud of her titties. So black women weren't just running out grabbing titties. That was a white woman thing. They wanted to get some bigger titties. Because white men, they like big titties. They don't necessarily like big asses, but white men love titties. Boobs, knockers, jugs, whatever they want to call them, they call them, they love them. You ain't going to see too many white men that don't like some titties. So white women start going out and getting some fake titties. Because what they did notice is when a white man saw a black woman that had some titties, they stared. Why are you staring at her? And white men be unapologetic. Look, you see the jugs on her? You see the knockers on her? White men love black women's titties. And I think that goes all the way back to slave times. Because they saw a lot of titties. White men saw a lot of titties. And I'm not talking about just when they raped our women. I'm talking about when our women were breastfeeding their babies. White men saw black women's titties just as much as black men saw black women's titties. Black women were nursing a white man's baby because the white woman couldn't nurse. So the black woman was up there nursing, giving that breast milk to that baby. Black woman was the first nutritionist for the white baby. Being that they were the first nutritionist for the white baby, that made the white woman hate the black woman. I can't even feed my own child. You up here feed my child. And she already know that black woman is also catching rapist dick from her husband. So not only is your husband sticking it to the woman who's feeding your baby, you can't even feed your baby. That would make me hate a motherfucker too. That's the rape part. You know, she should have probably thought twice about that, but she didn't step in to stop it. She didn't stop John Elroy from raping Constance. Motherfucker. See, if I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to tell you the truth. Whether you want to listen to it or not, that's up to you. That's up to you. Then they came out with the asses. This is just something that I just never saw black women really going for. But we've become really fucked up with the fake asses. Really, sis? I understand you want to put a little bit back there. But do some glute exercises. Build your glutes up. Exercise. Don't let somebody shoot some foreign solution in your buttocks. You letting somebody put something in your buttocks that's toxic. Toxic. Foreign to begin. You don't even know what it is. So it's foreign and it's toxic. That's why you see all these disastrous butt injections now, because women don't know what they, man, I didn't see them. They had the one, they said they put some concrete in her ass. I mean, she was literally a brick shithouse. They put concrete in her ass. What do you think's gonna happen to that concrete? It might go in soft and moldable, but don't you think that concrete gonna firm up sooner or later? And you literally gonna be sitting on a ton of bricks. The fuck is wrong with you? Stupid, dumb, or slow. Anytime somebody talks about putting some concrete in your ass and you don't walk away, stupid, dumb, or slow. That's the only three you're gonna get from me. That's the only three you're gonna get from me. Stupid, dumb, or slow. Which one are you? So it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there. After the titties, after the asses, you started to see the lips. Black women, most black women are blessed with some lips. But then you started to see black women get their lips shot up to get bigger lips. You gonna have somebody put something in your lips to make them bigger? Black. If God saw fit for you to have the size lips you got, leave it alone. If that's what they gonna do, okay. Some of them ain't got lips. So I can see why they might do it. Why are you doing it? You already got some lips. But then we couldn't stop there. All the cosmetic shit start coming in. The brows, the lashes. Now I done seen fake baby hair. I feel stupid saying it. Fake baby hair? Because fake baby hair, here's the hustle right here. Fake baby hair, if you look at them fake baby hairs, I see a picture of them a couple weeks ago. If you look at the fake baby hair, all that shit is eyelashes. And you lay it down and glue it to your shit, it ain't nothing but eyelashes. They just do it they put a little wave in it. It ain't nothing but them big lashes, and it's just laid down. It's a hustle, dog. It's the same fucking hair. Or hair-like substance. I don't know. But we've gotten so out of pocket with this fake shit. I'm sorry, faux shit. F-A-U-X. Sounds more expensive. Where motherfucker said, what's the difference between a flutist and a flautist? $20 an hour. Yeah. What's the difference between you getting $40 and $40 and a pint of E&J? Yeah. So IKEA, and let me just tell you this, I hadn't been shopping in IKEA in years anyway. I hate that shit. I mean, they give you that shit broke down so motherfucking much. You gotta screw the screws together to use them motherfuckers. Ain't nothing together in IKEA. The box that the shit comes in, you gotta, it's like 8 things you gotta do just to open that box. I like just tearing the end off and just pulling that shit up and it just all falls out. That's how the American shit be. But when it comes over here, what is that, Scandinavia or wherever the fuck it comes from? That box is tight, got 18 goddamn pieces of adhesive on it. Once you break that shit open, then it's shrink wrapped. Then it's got a whole bunch of coils on it, and you got to cut all that shit through. Then you just got to start breaking each part. Then you got 17,142 screws for a dresser. I ain't got time to put that shit in. I mean, I got me an IKEA dresser, like a 3-drawer dresser. I got as far as making the drawers, and I use that shit. I just put the motherfuckers in there. I didn't even build the rest of it because you had to put the tracks in there, and all. Man, I ain't got time for all that shit. I just need to get this shit off the floor, out the hamper, off the floor. And that's what I did. When I left that place, I left that motherfucker. Well, I didn't leave the dresser. I left them drawers. The other wood was over in the corner somewhere. It is what it is. So IKEA took it upon themselves to celebrate Juneteenth. And I know this is now a national story too, and I'm late on it because it wasn't on my radar. I already know people gonna do bigoted shit, racist shit for Juneteenth. I knew they did. But IKEA, a lot of freedmen shop at IKEA. A lot of freedmen. A lot of descendants. A lot of native Black Americans shop at IKEA. They give a lot. We spend much money in IKEA as a collective. Everybody ain't got the phobia of putting shit together like me. I just got a problem. When you give me a 3-drawer dresser and I got a whole satchel of screws, you're trying to defeat me. You're not trying to help me. Juneteenth, IKEA, they weren't trying to help us either. It says Juneteenth, to honor the perseverance of Black Americans and acknowledge the progress yet to be made, we observe Juneteenth. We will also be showcasing a compilation of videos in honor of Juneteenth. I would love to know what those videos were. If there's anybody you know that worked at IKEA or works at, I have to say work because you should have quit. Once you saw this, you should have quit. But if you still work at IKEA and you know somebody, can you put them in touch with me? I want to know what the videos were that they showed. I mean, was it like Buckwheat's Classics? Amos and Andy? What'd they show? Jack Benny show? What'd they show on Juneteenth? Because I know they didn't show nothing uplifting because they did this shit. And if you do this shit, you couldn't have done anything positive. Look out for the special menu on Saturday. That was Juneteenth, right? Fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, potato salad, collard greens, and candied yams. God damn it, you didn't hear me? fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese. See how they say mac and cheese? Like, that's the way y'all say it, mac and cheese. No, motherfucker, we say macaroni and cheese. Mac and cheese, that's probably out of the box. But you say mac and cheese because you're trying to be hood. Potato salad, unless potatoes has got an S on the end of it, nigga, I don't need to see a S. Potato salad is P-O-T-A-T-O. F-A-B-A-L-O-U-S, whatever. P-O-T-A-T-O-E. They put an E on potato salad, but didn't have an S. I would say that's grammatically incorrect. Maybe that's the way they spell it in Scandinavian when they making potato salad. Potato. Collard greens. Who the fuck y'all got cleaning collard greens at IKEA? You know you got to clean collard greens. Who the fuck is cleaning collard greens at IKEA? I need an old black woman with that back arm fat cleaning my collard greens. Working slow, singing old Negro spirituals. If she cooking them up in a joint like this, you know how many collard greens you got to clean to fucking do a whole IKEA? Where the fuck they get collard greens from? Who cooked this food at IKEA? Candied yams. Candied yams. Yeah? Y'all made some yams up in IKEA? You bitches made some yams? I mean, I know that goes with fried chicken and watermelon. Why the fuck watermelon number 2, bitch? Wouldn't watermelon be last? We eating dessert first? Watermelon. We couldn't have no lemon meringue pie? We couldn't have no peach cobbler? How about a devil's food cake? Y'all know y'all don't like making us an angel food cake. That's for y'all. We get the devil's food cake because that's the black one. Everybody's going to look over this. Like, all 14, 15 people that are going to watch this video, they're all going to look over this and they're going to go shop at IKEA as if nothing happened. And this is why most of y'all motherfuckers aren't on code. Most of you're not on code. Most of you suck. This store should be able to be put out of business because the black people that shop there shouldn't go there anymore. And the white people that shop there, if you're in allegiance with us, if black lives really matter, you'll stop shopping there too. But you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna. You might do the Black Lives Matter marches, but you're not gonna stop going to get cheap Scandinavian furniture because they insulted Black Americans. No, you're not gonna do that. And you know what that makes you? You're a white supremacist too. It's okay. It's not that I didn't think you were a white supremacist, but I think you're a white supremacist when you don't do that. If we stop shopping there, it's for a reason. Because you know black people love to shop. We love to spend money. We love to save money so we can go spend more money somewhere else. But if we stop shopping there because of that and you don't, you may be a white supremacist. And you know, I really didn't finish I didn't finish. And I'm going to finish right here. I know we do a lot of this stuff. Well, women do a lot of this stuff to impress people, to get attention from people. You know, you don't go out and get the lips and the boobs and the butts and all that stuff. You don't go out and get all that restructuring if you don't want people to look at you. You don't like the way you look. Therefore, you don't think people like the way you look. So you go out and do those improvements. You know, tummy tucks and all that stuff. That was all normal. That's the minimal shit. Somebody get a tummy tuck now? If somebody gets a tummy tuck now, is that even considered a surgery anymore? I mean, because these people are getting some reconstructive surgeries. Is tummy tuck even a fucking surgery anymore? Injecting foreign substances into your body, toxic substances into your body to create an illusion as if it's better than it was. And it's just not wealthy women that do this. This is like some working class women are now doing this. From what I hear, it's really big in the plants. I guess women getting fake boobs and getting fake butts that work in the plants now, that's a big thing. Who said you needed to have a perfect ass to work in a plant? Generally, you got that just by working in the plant. You do so much walking and shit, you build that ass. That ass is built in the plants. I done seen many of plant-built asses. But they getting fake butts and they getting fake boobs in the plants. To impress who? I don't get it, man. But the last thing that really hurt me when I saw it, it was a caption. And I've already talked about the other stuff. And the caption said, so the wigs, the eyelashes, the excess makeup wasn't enough. And I was like, what could be next? I hadn't even looked at the picture yet. I like to read the shit first so I know what I'm going to be looking at. And then I looked down and I saw a woman, her nipples were protruding from her blouse. First thing I noticed. She had pink headphones on. I did notice those, but then I noticed the nipples. And then right below the picture, it's a bra. She didn't get any constructive work done. She's wearing a bra that has nipples in the bra. So she didn't get any work done to get her nipples blown up for a permanent status. She's just wearing a bra that gives the illusion that her nipples are hard. And in my history, when I've seen women whose breast, well, I haven't seen very many women that haven't had nipples, but women that have breasts whose nipples are hard, you tend to look at them, you tend to see them. They get your attention. So you're trying to tell me that they now make bras to purposely get a man, or, well, it's 2021, get a man or woman's attention? I want you to look at my breast and I want you to think that my nipples are hard, even though it shows she's clearly wearing a bra with hardened nipple, I don't know what you'd call it, cups? I don't know. Or I don't know. How can you work in a space and be respected with something like that going on? Anybody that's talking to you is never going to be talking to you again. They'll be talking directly to your nipples. Actually, they're going to be talking to your bra because those nipples aren't real. So I guess, you pulled one over on them. You're not actually being sexualized because those aren't your nipples. Those are the bra's nipples. Therefore, it can't be sexual harassment. It could be brassiere harassment. Your bra can sue. Why are you staring at me like this? I feel uncomfortable. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we go for shit like that, but we don't seem to understand how damaging that is to us as a collective. Because, of course, that bra probably wasn't created by a black woman, but do you think that they would put a white woman in that ad? Nah, they put a black woman in it. Because who's going to buy that? Is a white woman going to buy that? Of course, there's going to be white women that buy that. Absolutely. But they're going to promote it to the black people. They're going to promote that product to black people. This young girl that's won damn near every race that she's ever participated in. Now the fastest woman in the world. I think she's about 21. They say she's the fastest human, or is she the fastest woman? The pressure that they're putting on her. And she doesn't seem like she's really dealing with it badly, but she's only 21. And I hope she's got a good circle. I haven't read much into her history, but she's going to the Olympics and she'll win the gold at the Olympics, barring any injury. Nobody's coming close to her. She's fast. She's the fastest. But now they've chosen to, and the only reason I'm talking about this because I just saw a friend of mine post something that says, I was once told to kill a situation, you starve it out. Don't give it no energy, no time, effort, or comments. Why are we even entertaining them people with an acknowledgement or comment of anything, Sha'Carri Richardson? And we know who those other people are because now they figured out a way to get in here with her. I've looked at her Instagram. I think, did I end up following her? I can't remember if I followed her or not. But I ended up looking at her Instagram because I wanted to see how this possibly got put out there. All I saw was a bunch of track and field photos and then her dressed up, in some outfits that made me blush. But, she's 20 and she's got a decent body, more than decent body. And that's what she's going to wear. But I wouldn't want that for my 21-year-old. But they wear what they're going to wear. And I don't see half the shit they got anyway. I just see some of the stuff. Then I comment on it and then they get mad. Because I don't want to see your booty out. I'm your daddy. I don't want to see your titties out. I'm your daddy. And any daddy that doesn't mind seeing his daughter's boobs and ass out, I'm watching you, motherfucker. If you don't think twice, you're like, you want to cover your daughter up, I'm watching you. So I didn't see any pictures of her displaying any public displays of affection. To a male or a female. But somehow, some way, somebody felt the need to publicize that she's gay. And this was such great news because it was Pride Month. I don't know what that does for Pride Month. I don't know how that helps Pride Month with having the fastest woman in the world be gay. What type of clout does that really give you? Where does the LGBTQIAAP environment go after learning this news that she's gay? The need to say that didn't exist. I didn't see her licking shit when she was on the track, whenever I saw her run. And like I said, I hadn't seen a full track meet of hers. I just generally see the highlights and see her run. And I don't see her licking nothing. So why do I need to know that? That's not my business. What she does in her spare time. Her extracurricular activities don't make me none. All I want to do is see her run. Run, Sha'Carri, run. Y'all really gonna entertain the fact that she's in a relationship with a woman? Why does that matter? These Simple Simon ass motherfuckers, they wait. They wait. The people that I saw perpetuating it actually were black. They probably were black gay women or gay black women. Off code. They're off code just for acknowledging that. You want to make life hard on a sister now? It's already hard enough out there running against other teams, other runners. So now you want to throw her sexuality in the game. Trying to throw her off, like you just invading her privacy. That's her private life. Her sexuality has nothing to do with her getting in those blocks and taking the fuck off. But no, we got to bring that up. We got to bring that up. It's unfortunate that they see the greatness in us and they try to minimize it. And like I said, I saw black people perpetuating this. But because of Pride Month, and because of the other post people affiliated with Pride Month, that's what pushed it into the black sphere. Well, nobody coming for gay people. Gay people enjoying their Pride Month. We enjoying our Black Music Month. Y'all need to get ready because next month is White History Month. It was created by Jesse Lee Peterson. White History Month. A black man created White History Month. Okay? Okay? Just as fucked up as IKEA's food menu is, it's fucked up that a black man created White History Month. I'm going to end this because the next one I do, I'm going to start it with why. But I'll no longer be using the handle Blackwatch. I'll be changing my YouTube channel from Blackwatch Media to something else. I might just name the motherfucker something else media. I don't know. But I don't want to be looked at, seen at, heard at Blackwatch anymore. because I don't want to be compared to anyone at all. I'm not on some shit like, Prince, like, I can't be known by that name anymore because it is. No, I have a conflict with the ideologies of individuals who use that term, Blackwatch. And I myself don't want to be compared or likened to, at any rate, to those individuals. They're not me, and I'm not them. Therefore, I must separate everything. We have no connection. We have no affiliation. We're not in cahoots. So when you hear from this point on the term Blackwatch, it won't come from me. When I get back to the desktop, I'll change it out. But there'll be no more hashtags for Blackwatch. What's out there is out there. I'm not going to go back and try to get rid of every Blackwatch hashtag. Fuck all that. The history I made with that, the digital footprint I made with that, it stays. It sticks. Because it was real. But anybody else trying to infect what I've created, okay. You spend time trying to figure yourself out. You wouldn't have to worry about what the fuck somebody else is doing. But I never took anything from anybody. I never stole anything from anybody. The very individuals that I dealt with on this knew my reasoning for wanting the name, the content that I'd create, Blackwatch. I gave them the whole story behind it. I have a whole, see, I don't even know if anybody else knows this, because most motherfuckers don't go to my YouTube channel. I mean, I got 446 subscribers. I'm going to strive to get 4 more subscribers today to get me to 450. The Blackwatch YouTube channel 100% unapologetically promotes the Black Collective. The Blackwatch's main ideology lives within the 6 specific core principles of redress for American descendants of freedmen. And although we may not always agree with others who are fighting for the same justice claim, you'll never see us defame or degrade any of our brothers and sisters in the struggle seeking restorative justice. On the flip side of that, don't get it tangled out here and think we're going to be your whipping boy. Now, I meant on YouTube specifically. This ain't the 60s. We clap back. The Blackwatch's goal is to bring awareness, enlightenment, and strength to the Black collective. The time has come for us to align and govern ourselves judiciously and to continue or just continue to be lost carnage on the soil our ancestors built for free. That's where it was. Now, I used to listen to a music group called X-Clan. I'll actually even do X-Clan today for the 23rd month of Black Music Month. So a lot of people know X-Clan.
It's the messenger group X-Clan. Here's the 9. The movement Blackwatch. And when we're not outraged about the oppression upon the movement Blackwatch. And when we're not outraged about the oppression upon the Black existence, the movement Blackwatch. And when we're not outraged about the oppression upon the Black existence, we step to you in blackness. By the way, about the oppression of is the messenger group X-Clan. Here's the 9. The movement Blackwatch. And when we're not outraged.
So that's where I got Blackwatch from. And I said that I really wouldn't utter that phrase anymore because I don't need to. I don't own it. There's no patent on it. There's no trademark on it. I actually used X-Clan's ideology and used the Public Enemies because equally they were some most influential lyricists, speakers, really, not even lyricists, speakers to me in my early 20s. So I didn't try to steal anything from anybody. And I didn't try to be something that I wasn't because I didn't have to be. I didn't try to be something because I was something. I am something now. And you got motherfuckers out here 30 years later still trying to be something. Why are you still trying to be what you were 30 years ago? You still trying to be something you were 30 years ago? I rode down to Detroit with a gang full of motherfuckers to go see these motherfuckers at the Latin Quarter. We sat through sound check. We sat through the concert. And I'm sorry, we stood. It was a standing room only concert at the Latin Quarter. And when they came out, we walked right out and watched them get into a convertible Mustang and they took off into the Detroit night. X-Clan. They didn't have a pink Cadillac that they talked about. There was a motherfucking Mustang that drove X-Clan away. But we loved him just the same as we climbed back into Billy's mom's Toyota van and went back home after we enjoyed one of the best concerts ever. We went to the sound check. They couldn't get the sound check right. They started the concert. He stopped the shit. Brother Jay was like, nah. It's fucked up. This sound's fucked up. And they got that shit right, and the sound came off clear as a bell. Then they restarted the whole concert and did it again. I'll never forget it. One of the greatest nights of my life. Black Watch in full effect. They spoke to us. No matter how symbolic it probably was, but it is what it is. Maybe it's telling me I need to get the fuck off this motherfucker. But I had to get that off my chest. I don't even know if I'm on anymore. I don't even know if I'm clear anymore. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm going to say what I'm getting it out. I'm getting it out. So that's all that matters to me. When a motherfucker says that I stole something, they need to come back and get it. If I took something from you, if you think I have something of yours, come get it. But you got to be better than me to take it back. You got to be better than me to take it back. You can't just say it's yours. It's not just yours because you say so. It's yours because you own it. Because you're working it. Because you're making the needle move for your people. See, I talk too fast. I put move and needle at the same time and got moodle. My brain works faster than my mouth works. I know that's probably hard to believe for some people.
is the messenger group X-Clan. Here's the nine. The movement Black Watch. And when we're not outraged about the oppression upon the black existence, we step to you in blackness. By the way, exist in a state of vainglories as we are protected by the red, the black, and the green. Heed the words of the brother, sissy. Let us the words, word the phrases, the paragraph. Heed math as J begins class. The science of past is now brought to the rhyme fix. From the scrolls, straight to the verses. God to God, so God to man. Many kings, many leaders, a fist from a hand. They call me militant. Now what does this mean? Do I carry a gun to let the army swing? With a call and never pause, as simply as a brother. Raise the flag, wave the colors. Red, black, green with the key, the difference. Words make a way in the world and the history. Living to die and I die to live again. 3-6 degrees. Comprehend, a man getting stronger till he's man no longer. Unearthly state makes the time to be shorter. Forever radiant, awareness, voice forth the one. Overnight, no gun. Practicing priest, stand about what I teach. You all stand starving as I start to leave. Blackness brought from the Genesis. Well, the gift of Armageddon is a witness. The originals built the earth. What must it be aggression to learn a basic lesson? Quite majestic, stir with.
I'll take the hit on it. I do not own the rights to this music. I am an ASCAP music license holder. Fair use. But go ahead and give me the ding anyway. I'll get back with y'all. I know I'm probably about an hour behind in what I need to do, but I got some shit I got to take care of. Good morning.
How are you?
I am well. Y'all be good. I got some real building to fucking do. But just so you know, I wasn't really trying to get rid of y'all. I actually made a phone call, and you can hear it come through the Bluetooth. And I ain't gonna have her identify herself, but I got real building to do. No more hashtags free. We're good. We'll change all the names. No more Black Watch. We're good. One love.